Yes, Sarah down the street had roofing service company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
We're going to get up to 87 for a high temperature today, but we bring in a chance for some showers and thunderstorms this evening into tonight. Some of those could be strong to severe, with large hail and strong wind gusts being the main threats. We'll drop down to 67 tonight, maybe a morning shower tomorrow with a high of 86. Then we'll get up to 90 for a high on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Aaron Dowda for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Yes, it is. Welcome in to a Monday show here during On the Block. Glad you're along for the ride. I'm Austin, Jay Foreman along in a minute, but Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet, Mr. Knowledge's Power himself. He's Strick in studio with me. Was good, Stricky? How was your fourth weekend?
In the building, me and my WTF partner, Cluster Johnson, went out to the lake with the family, with his family, and really enjoyed that. That was nice little getaway. I think it's called Leggett Lake. Kind of out heading towards the Fremont area, and went out there, got on a little pontoon, sat on the porch, ate some good
porch
Jay
pounders?
Foreman.
Any porch pounders?
Nah, I didn't get in. Are
you a big lake guy? Are you okay with the lake?
I didn't get in the lake, but
so you're okay with the lake. You don't love the lake.
I'm okay. Yeah. It's not that I haven't been in them. When I was out in Orlando, I'd get in there, but for the most part, I just enjoyed the peace of it all. This lake is kind of located literally like you could walk to the Platte. It was really close, but it wasn't connected. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, it was just really, really, just sit out there. The breeze was lovely. It was peaceful. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's what I enjoyed most about it. About 3 hours out there. And then, I've been inside the rest of the time, I didn't even sip on no wine this weekend.
Hello.
Man. Isn't that crazy?
We got Grill Master Jay Foreman in here. Jay, how was your 4th of July weekend?
Oh, he was,
What? Sipping on wine?
No, just how was your weekend and what did you grill? That's the obvious question.
Oh, I grilled everything on that son.
Everything?
Yeah, I knocked it out. Lobster tails.
Ooh. My goodness.
All that.
You was doing it like that?
Return of the Jedi. We're back.
How about that?
We back. We like David Goggins on steroids.
Back like we never left. 402-464-5685. Be a part of the show. Cubsker, happy Monday. Hope everyone had a safe 4th. Hope the same for you. You guys got all 10 digits?
Oh, I don't do
I ain't got no problem.
I don't do fireworks.
No problems. I ain't do it.
You don't do them?
No.
Send other people out there to do your dirty work?
I wouldn't even go if I wouldn't even be. I'd stay inside if I had to, if I could.
Jay, did you hear about the rapper? I think his name 4 cents, or I can't remember, not 50 Cent. But there's this rapper guy. He I guess he hangs out on this show with a guy named Adam 22 or whatever. And he was messing with him. His name is 4 something, lost 4 digits.
Ooh.
No lie. One of them things. The rumor is, well, it ain't no rumor for him, but there's another rumor that another one of his friends took it to the dome.
He blew his head off? Oh, his face got burnt?
Yeah.
They must have had some faulty fireworks. They must have got a seriously like 10 for $10 for like M80s or something. Ones that was like,
and I guess the fuse was like,
yeah.
Yeah, like you didn't have no time. You didn't even have no time to do what was it called, Austin? Back up,
Derek. Put in reverse, Derek.
You know they had him in a like a parade.
No,
really?
Yeah, in his hometown. You know how they have like a 4th of July. Yeah, he's in a parade. He's driving down there with his own. Yeah, wheelchair and I don't know. Man. I don't mind. I mean, I'll go and I just doesn't really do anything for me. And I think that when you get in these neighborhoods, when the professionals do it, it's great because everything's kind of synced up and timed up. I think I mean they can kind of do it, and obviously that's why they're professionals. When the people think they're professionals and they're not professionals, then it brings in danger. And it's not by anybody's fault. They're trying to have memories with their family and stuff. It just, at least in my neighborhood, you just got cats. They just like blowing stuff up for no reason. Like you need to be out in the country somewhere, like out in the middle of nowhere doing that.
Where only the squirrels and the birds can hear you.
Right.
Austin, I think what was wild about it, I was sitting on my balcony, and as Jay was saying, literally, normally you would see them popping off, sporadically. When you're looking across the whole landscape from where I live, and all you're seeing, I'm not talking about just a little. Yeah. I'm talking about ones that go boom, 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 boom. And I'm not talking the professional ones. Yeah. And it's like all in these neighborhoods. I could scan from left to right, east to west, and I looked to the south. And yeah, it was jumping off like that. Like all the neighborhoods were popping.
There's a lot of money that people spent.
Man, it's a big business.
I didn't break $50 on my family's fireworks. And I probably should have because little man actually loved them.
Yeah? Yeah. What do you have, the little crackers, the little throw ones?
Yeah, oh my gosh. He went through 3 boxes of those in like 10 minutes. Yeah. If only I would have known.
There it is.
Alas. 402-464-5685 if you want to be a part of the show. Fellas, if Nebraska football is going to put up some fireworks and make the college football playoff, how many wins do you think they need to enter the college football playoff at-large discussion? 12 regular season games for Nebraska to be in the conversation for the college football playoff. First of all, just how many wins would you say Nebraska needs?
At least 9.
Okay. Stricky?
It's like when you play spades. You play spades, Strick?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you at least hey, I got 9 with a possible 10.
Yeah, you don't need a Boston. You don't need a Boston.
Yeah, but
I think 9.
Now 10 you in.
10 you in.
You in for real.
For real.
Yeah, you like top. If we didn't win the Big Ten, you one of the 9. If you beat beat Michigan, you go and.
Okay, then we're getting to that second part of the question just a second.
I'm just trying to figure out how you get to 9.
Think about it in your head. Stricky, how many wins would you say Nebraska needs to be in the college football playoff at-large conversation?
Yeah, 9.
You're rolling with 9?
I roll with 9.
Kelly Ford on Twitter, K Ford Ratings, a guy that I follow there, says that Nebraska needs 10 to be in the conversation, but that he has Nebraska closer to needing 11 wins than to needing 9. He has Nebraska in the same neighborhood as Indiana, who won 11 last year, as Illinois, who won 9 regular season games and a bowl game last year, in the same neighborhood as Maryland, Colorado, Iowa State, some of those other notable schools. On the flip side of the line of 10, Kelly Ford says Ohio State with 10, but probably only needs 9. USC in that boat, Miami,
Why?
Clemson, Michigan, Penn State in that
Why
boat. And
USC?
my guess is because of the schedule. He is saying 10 gets you in the conversation. But this goes to Jay's point. Which games you win are probably just as important.
That's what I would say.
The number.
Yeah, I would say which games.
Of games that you win. So the most important games for Nebraska football's at-large hopes. The most important wins. Cincinnati, Michigan, and then probably USC at home.
Yeah, USC at home. You get USC at home.
Michigan, USC at home.
Yeah. Those are your toughest games, and you got them at home outside of going
to Penn State.
Huh?
Going to Penn State.
You can take the L.
Okay.
But you got to beat Iowa. You got to win your home games. You should show and prove, because they're getting a little bit of that spark, or people are kind of eyeing them. You come in and you handle the business, and then you beat your home games, which you got 2, and you can go to, long as you don't go to Penn State and get drubbed by 55-7 or something like that, you'll be all right.
So you're saying an 8 possible 9 in the spade?
I still think 9. I still think 9.
9 guaranteed?
I think 9 it puts you in the question.
I think you could sneak in there on with 8 if it looks good.
But
if the 4 losses look good.
But think about what those 4 losses would be. If you lose to Penn State, Michigan, Iowa, and USC,
there's not enough to give you that buffer.
3 losses at home, and then your best quality win.
Yeah.
Now, if you beat one of them at home,
then who do you trade it off with a loss?
Yeah, because your losses are going to be a bad loss. Any of the losses.
Lose to Minnesota. At Minnesota.
You think Gophers are legit this year?
No, I'm just saying, if you lose to Minnesota, say Minnesota does like the last time we did.
As long as they go 50-50.
And they threw
if they go under.
They threw that. But you would beat Michigan, or you would beat USC after that. So you lose to Michigan, then you beat USC late. It's all about the timing.
Okay.
Because the way Indiana was playing late in the season, they ain't making the playoffs.
Yeah,
they banked.
Yeah,
they had
early
so much.
wins.
They were blowing people out, and they were the talk of the town. And college football nobody was really stepping out there like that. Georgia didn't really look good. Oregon almost lost, I think, twice. Ohio State was, but that game went down to 1 point, and then it was controversial because they did the dude, ran on the field, so the time ran out. So nothing was exciting. But then Indiana late in the season.
I would say I was surprised. I was surprised.
I
knew we would get in, but I was surprised.
I was more disappointed. I was very disappointed that they didn't. I think they are extremely talented.
Mm-hmm.
They got probably. I always give Ohio State and Michigan just the DBs, but they got one of the top DBs in the nation. They got 2 backs. The offensive line is better than what people give them credit for. I was just surprised they just went and laid down like that at the crib. I mean,
yeah,
fair.
I mean, and you ain't it ain't like you went to Florida or somewhere. You got in the bus and drove down to South Bend. And got
worked over.
Yeah,
but they were doing things that they had never done before. And you see a team that come out of the basketball, right? Like we hear, you get caught up in the.
That's a fact.
But I think Nebraska. I think it in spades terms. I'm gonna go 9 possible 10.
Yeah, that's where I live.
If they get 9, it's gonna be you talk about some pitchforks. I think how many people in Nebraska?
1.2
million.
8 mil.
2 million.
Did it hit 2?
There'll be 2 million after that. They'll bring man, woman, and child.
2.005 in 2024.
They would be at.
Ricky knows something.
They would be at every person's house.
I beat the resident. I beat the resident. Guru.
But did you just see he had to fact check you though?
You see what he did?
That's what I do. It's my job. And see, I'm going to be the low man. I think Nebraska's got to get 11 to be in the at-large.
Wow.
Really?
I really do. I think 11 gets them there. I tend to agree with Kelly Ford. Maybe 10 if they're the right wins. But do you think Nebraska they're in the discussion, right? And that's what makes this so vague and nebulous. And we can't just do this in a vacuum, right? Because a lot of it is comparing resumes to one another. But let's say that Nebraska goes 2-1 against Michigan, USC, and Penn State. If they're 10-1 going into Iowa and lose to Iowa, and Iowa's 8-3, 7-4, I don't think the committee would want that if Nebraska ends its season on a loss like that. Think about if Nebraska finds a way to shock the world. They come off a bye week. They beat Penn State on the road. Then they come home and they drop a game against Iowa.
I think 3-0 against those three get them in regardless of what happens to Iowa.
But then I'm saying if you beat Penn State, you would have dropped one to Michigan and USC in my scenario.
Oh. Well, are you sure? Like,
I think Nebraska has to have the Indiana season. I don't know if Nebraska's schedule is so good to get it in the college football playoff at 10. You start talking about them and thinking about them once they hit 8. If they get a good win and they're in 9, okay, they're probably in the CFP top 25. But I don't think they get to the top 17, which is really, I think, where you need to be here, to be in striking distance. I don't think they reach the top 17 in terms of those discussions until they hit 10.
Man, I don't know. At this point, it's just week by week. Because I'm thinking now, I'm never, ever, ever picking James Franklin ever again in my life. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's my question.
He let you down like them dudes out there that used to sell them bean pies. We used to come out of the iguana. He used to sell you a bunch of snake oil.
That's my question.
I don't believe Penn State. Just something about it. Just something about him.
My question becomes, has Nebraska created enough resurgence within itself to get the benefit of the doubt?
I don't think so.
I don't know if they're there yet.
And you won't know that until they start playing.
The
reason why Indiana got the benefit of the doubt is the way they were beating people. They were pouring the gas on. They put 77 up on one team. They hung 56 on us when we were ranked. You know what I'm saying? And then told you about it. Mm-hmm. And then they went and beat other teams. So if Nebraska's beating the Cincinnatis and Texas Christians and Northern Iowas and Purdue's and all them, by say 20, let's just say 17 plus, then you have that leeway.
The question then is, let me throw it to you, based on some of the stuff you may be hearing internally, based on some of the workouts. We haven't seen enough yet to know enough, but is there anything you're hearing that's talking internal, not external, but that's talking about that heart change, that grind, that grit, that work, that extra mile that y'all used to put in back in the day? Because y'all used to show up and say, we beating the brakes off you, especially 95. Y'all was like, who won it?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to anything they've been saying. I think, that is a great point in question or statement question, Strick, in the sense of, there's everybody. I guess I look at it this in basketball, right? I always like talking in basketball. Like everybody, when you go out in the NBA, everybody's talented.
Mm-hmm.
When you were the Celtics team or teams that were extremely talented, like you weren't playing against schmucks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, You're like, all right, we just can kind of be out all night. We'll just blow these dudes out, throw alley oops, and that ain't happening.
No.
So, like you said, the thing that's probably gonna. The two things that has to change for Nebraska, or has to change, or I guess however you want to say change, or I tend to think has to get drastically, tangibly better. That you see it. You see it. Austin sees it. One is the little things in situational football, and that can't be dependent on the coaches. That's got to be player led, right? Like turnovers or whatever. And then the other thing is, when you meet like opponents, that means when you look over there when you guys go out there and shake hands, there goes Strick over here. You have to be able to raise your level of competition or your level of intensity to meet that, and then leapfrog that.
Let me add one to it.
All right.
When you're having success, don't smell your own doo-doo.
Yeah,
or your own roses.
That's
you got to be able to step away from that, Jay. Would you agree?
That's the Indiana thing,
right?
Cignetti's on there talking junk next to his mentor. He's like, I ain't teach you this. But then you get 24 hours later, now it's all gone. The thing that people don't realize, and you know this, Strick, by winning the NIT and then obviously being in the NBA and playing in big games, right? Winning playoff series and all that, and championships, and for me and whatever, is as long as the season is, or getting to that journey, it's done just like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, showing up to Phoenix and playing Florida, and knowing what we were going to do. Now we're going to do it. It's done.
Long week, short day.
Right. Florida flew there unprepared in the hoopla. Next thing you know, they got on the plane, battered, bruised, and blown out.
Yeah.
You don't. It's the discipline, pain of playing a hurt right now. Versus like the lifelong of regret. And so if they're able to instill that with themselves, and you got to
say that again, with them. What'd you say?
Instilling it
with themselves.
Yeah, with themselves.
It's got to be some internal work. It can't be the pump and prime of the coaches consistently trying to blow you up. Well, you got to do that internally.
The hardest thing, because this is nothing. This is this ain't a knock or this is just this is the hard truth. You got a guy here that played in the NBA for 9 years. Also, shout out Strick being voted the best player in the.
That was ChatGPT.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was Chat.
Well,
it was ChatGPT.
I just gave it. Well, then give me that crown back.
No, I mean, look.
I didn't know.
Again, it's relative, though.
Right.
I mean, it's a perspective.
It is.
It was ChatGPT looking at the information, and that was a decision he made.
And then you got, I played, did my thing or whatever. But when you think about it, it's like the thing that people don't. This the cold hard truth is. They have the staff. They got guys in the staff that they believe in. Some holdovers, some new guys, right? So now you're going to be prepared and all that stuff, right? You got special teams coordinator, all that stuff, right? Now it's going to be down to, do you make those guys that are guys and gals on the sidelines correct in what they think you can be? And that's the hardest job. A coach sit here and watch you train all the time and coach you, put tons of hours, sacrifice from their families and friends and all that, then come out and hope on come Saturday in front of 90,000 people and millions watching that you're going to go execute. And that you're willing to go execute. And that you're willing to play selfless. But then also, are you willing to be something that you normally don't walk around? Because normally you want, guys that are respectful human beings in the community. But when you step on the field, this is not... If you want to get there, I'm just telling you, right? If you want to get, this ain't gonna be pretty. It ain't gonna be.
No.
It's good. It's gonna have to be grimy.
And you have to get over. And I'm gonna let you come, but I'm just saying,
pause.
You have to get
That's
over.
A super pause.
You have to get over.
He came off.
Man,
Hey man,
yeah, bro. Pause, Eric. Yo, listen, you have to get over, I'm putting on this black shirt. I'm putting on this uniform. I'm walking through this tunnel. When they see me, they love me. No. You have to, it's the stuff that I know personally, internally, that I knew on the outside what people maybe thought of me. Mm-hmm. But there was still something inside that was like, that ain't enough. I listen to the negative fodder more than I listen to the newsworthy praise. You know what I mean? Because that was the thing that drove me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think these kids are a little different, right?
Probably.
And that's fine. And then this ain't a Nebraska thing. It's
just period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be the real truest test of year 3 Matt Rule. Seems like there's a lot working against Nebraska, but it's nothing that Nebraska itself can't fix. I think this is where we really see if those processes to make it grimy, to block out the outside noise are in place, or if some of that's just talk and bluster, right? It's one thing to do that at Temple, right? Sure, you don't have a lot of resources, but there's no pressure at Temple. Yeah, it's your job. Yeah, it's your career, but you're in the American Athletic Conference at a never football power. It's another to do it in Baylor, where the 6th, 7th best, players that the top 5 schools didn't want in Texas and then the SEC still come to you. You're still probably going to be plenty talented just in state, but you're Baylor. You had 1 year of success with Robert Griffin III, essentially. There's not that much pressure there. Anything's gravy. But now you're at Nebraska, and you got a track record to back up Matt Rule. Let's see if your process is legit. It ought to show up at a place like Nebraska if there's something to it.
Question to both of you. Is it a failure if they come in 6-6 again?
What does that look like? Is it?
Yeah, in a vacuum, yes, but What's the context?
Yeah. So if they come in 6-6, you lose to the big three.
Lose to Penn State.
Right. You
USC,
skate
Michigan.
by.
You beat Iowa.
You lose. No, you lose to the big three. You lose to Iowa. You lose to Minnesota. You win all of the ones that you should win, and you skirt by one of the other ones.
And everybody's healthy.
You ain't got no issues.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not how you drew it up.
Yeah, that would be
hard.
Like
I'm saying everything healthy. What's a good successful win?
If they are 6-6 and there's nobody like hurt, they would have to like actively try not to win games.
Good point. I just wanted to know.
You know what I'm saying?
I just want to know.
I just think they're talented enough that I think it really,
even with all that you had to replace, because you're one of the mainstays of the Big Ten is the replacement of interior defensive linemen. Yeah. You had to replace two of your big powerhouses on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got new linebackers that you have to get acclimated. Your outsides are unsure, untested.
Yeah.
So your defense, the hopeful mainstay of what you're trying to accomplish has to, show up, and they have to gel pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Or
so that's what I'm saying.
It's got to be a clear, they got to make steps.
Progression.
You're right. And that's what, and that's fine. Cause I've been on teams that way. I think to be frank, I'm never going to tell anybody how to coach, but this is a team that you might have to really break down. We got to, you know what I'm saying?
Like your boy do on the film.
No, I'm talking about we got because I'm gonna tell you about Coach Osborne, man. I'll never forget this conversation I had with him.
He was subtle about it too. He kill you softly.
I told him, I said, man, you bring us to the brink of destruction. And he looked at me, he said, yeah, I am. He said, but by the first game, you gonna be built up. I said, all right, dude, I'm trusting you. Because I was
wanted to walk out that month.
Yeah. You know how when you went on the track, went up there to the locker room, I wanted to keep on going right to the car.
Yeah.
So that might be it. Because I think if you do that early, it'll pay off late.
Probably should have started in winter conditioning as well. So
yeah.
They'll
be fine.
Remains to be seen. We'll keep talking about it as we move throughout today, the course of the week, and of course the month. Don't forget 93.7 The Ticket, planning to be at Big Ten Media Day, so plenty of Big Ten football conversations ahead. We got a Husker football recruiting update with Brian Munson coming up next.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Is it time to replace your home comfort system? Call Bryant and save money in every way. Bryant provides you with solutions that save. Save big immediately with attractive rebates, and save every day with lower operating costs. Most important, though, the systems are selected to fit you. The right system, priced right, properly installed. That's the way Bryant works for you. How much can you save? Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing for a free estimate. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at cobblecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G1877747, and G1965599.
Play ball!
Haymarket Park is buzzing with excitement this summer. Grab your crew and get in on the fun. Be sure to catch all the daily specials and promotions this season, like Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, Souvenir Saturday, Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts all summer long. Don't miss out on the action as the Lincoln Salt Dogs take on their biggest rivals and knock the ball out of the park. Visit saltdogs.com and see this week's promotions and grab your tickets.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sauterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Talking plenty more college football, a lot of Husker football here during On the Block. Austin Orman, Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman with you here during On the Block. We are headed to our Aloe Fiber VIP line. Aloe Fiber is where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. Let's go to that VIP line now. Welcome in Brian Munson of Husker Online. Brian, are you surviving everything going on down in Texas? How are you? How's the family?
Yeah, that's a horrible story. I was actually just reading some more updates on everything happening down there in Central Texas. I'm plenty far north of any of that. In fact, I think our first rainfall that we had seen over the last 3 weeks, we got like a little bit of a sprinkle this morning, but nothing like what those folks got down there. So that's really what's really abnormal. You know, living down here for years and years and years, can't remember when that part of the state ever got that much rain before. Never heard about like the Guadalupe and the Llano and everybody other river down that way flooding like that. So pretty unusual.
Sure is. We're certainly thinking of everything and everyone dealing with that down there in Texas. Up here in Nebraska, Brian, lots going on in Nebraska football recruiting. Let's start with a really fun piece that you wrote after a conversation with Dayton Raiola. Let's start with the on-field stuff. Dayton starting to grow into the part of the starting quarterback physically. What have you seen or heard from him about the work he's put in to change his body for his second year as the starter at Buford?
Well, I mean, I remember talking to him in the spring and just kind of had given me the rundown of everything he was doing. Like he was doing, team workouts into a track workout. Then he would go do, some sort of personal workout. Then he had to go meet with his trainer. And then he was doing, something else then like late at night, whether that was, like just going like with the yoga person or like doing something else. I mean, he was so busy and working with a nutritionalist too. I mean, he's been trying to take care of all aspects of what's kind of going on with his body and just wanted to and I think what happened here is it came at really at the right time. He hit this growth spurt and it's pretty clear. Like if you look at his pictures, he's grown a couple of inches and it was just like, well, you get that combination of like your body is going to kind of stretch out and naturally you're going to like lose some of that baby chub, maybe that's kind of hanging around a little bit because your body's looking for those calories and that fat storage. Well, he was kind of stripping that off of himself anyway through his nutrition side and obviously through his workouts. And then he was combining that with the fact that his body was growing. It was just such a great combination, I think. And he says he feels wonderful. Like he felt like last year he could kind of pull it down and run it. Now he says like he can definitely feel like he is quicker and faster. And, there's not even just like the aspect of like pulling it down and running the football, but also just kind of like stretching the play out, ways to kind of to elongate the play in the pocket, keep your eyes downfield, make the throw. But I mean, I think the other part is last year was his first year as a starter. I mean, they had 2 losses. They started out with a loss against Milton, and they lost later on in the playoffs. I think it was in the quarterfinals, maybe the semifinals. I can't remember quite which one it was. But, I mean, Buford is traditionally one of those high schools that you can, you go back and you go, oh, Georgia. It's like, you think about them and you think about like Valdosta, and Milton and Carrollton. You can just say those words and you know exactly what kind of caliber of football you're talking about. And last year was really Dayton's first year to get a chance to start because he was behind a guy by the name of Dylan Raiola. And that's tough to supplant, when it's your brother, 5-star quarterback, 2 years in front of you, and then you're going to get a chance to follow him to Lincoln. But I think that people really underestimated like the good things that he did last year to manage that team as he was kind of developing as a quarterback, seeing everything at that very high level of high school competition. And then you add to that now, taking a step forward, maturing, body getting better. What are the things I think that, you're going to be looking for this fall out of him? It's really exciting to think about. Actually, also too, he mentioned that huge Buford new stadium that they just put up. And there was a Twitter picture I retweeted from Rusty Manziel, who's part of the Georgia site on On3. It looks amazing, just absolutely amazing. So very exciting times for him. It's gonna be fun to watch him week 1 because they will be on ESPN when they open up the season again with Milton.
That'll be fun to watch. I'm sure Husker fans will be watching that. It's funny that we start with the body, the growth spurt for Dayton Raiola, because, of course, Matt Rule had been asked about, Dylan Raiola body composition throughout the year. And I think there's something to the fact, hey, their dad was a starting center in the NFL for a better part of a decade. So maybe that's something that they need to, make sure they focus on and take seriously, make a conscious effort about it. But on that front, Brian, do you think that this is a way that Dayton might be ahead of Dylan coming to Nebraska when he does in a couple years, just because Dayton did have the chance to actually sit down and think about it, because he didn't, transfer schools every offseason, so he got a chance to sit down and make this a conscious focus?
I think that's probably a very good probability. I think that you've got a person now that seems to maybe have a little bit of a process under their belt when it comes to managing their body, when it comes to caloric intake, when it comes to the amount of activity, obviously, per day that it takes to kind of, either be plus or minus, whatever it is that they're kind of looking for at that point in time, when it comes to the season and the year. So I definitely think that that's something that, you have to learn how to manage that. And I think that obviously dad was not a quarterback. And obviously they would probably have the inability, potentially to stack on some weight. But I mean, that position, obviously they're playing at, I mean, if they can manage themselves, that would be perfect for them to kind of, to kind of go in there and know what kind of makes their body run right. And I think Dayton has got a great glimpse of that so far, as a junior in high school. So, yeah, I think that there's a really good chance, like coming in, Dayton is going to have a greater understanding about what he has to kind of do to get his body right and get ready for the season.
We're talking with Brian Munson of Husker Online, part of the On3 network here during On the Block. Brian, you also recently wrote about an offer handed out to a prep player in the state of Nebraska, but not from the Huskers, and that's Omaha Skutt Jr. Wyatt Liebentritt, of course, relative younger brother of Husker fullback Barrett Liebentritt on the Huskers roster now. Let's start with the Nebraska aspect of this. You had an interesting write-up at the bottom of this, talking about why maybe Wyatt Liebentritt's camp didn't go so well for him at Nebraska.
Yeah, no, he was getting, Nebraska interest. I mean, Coach Dvorak was at his high school. He stopped by to talk to him, gave him that personal invite, which is what I think, a recruit's really looking for, to know that you're on a program's radar. Like you want that little bit of vote of confidence, like they know who I am, not just like a name and a number on a roster. They really want to see me this summer. So he goes ahead and makes that plan to get there for like the last camp, of the summer, and comes in and has like an allergic reaction. And it just took away every opportunity he had for for himself this last summer after his sophomore year to go out there and shine, in front of the coaches. So he was a little bit heartbroken kind of talking about that, because he said, like, he went on to say, and I was going to put some of this in Tunnel Talk this week, he's a massive Nebraska fan. I think that obviously he's not going to go ahead and tell Penn State too much about that, but he's a big Nebraska fan. Obviously the family supports the Huskers too. And it really was discouraging for him. So I think that this is kind of one of those things that's gonna really, energize him this fall to kind of go out there and get that film back out again. His film's actually really, really good from last season. But he'll be definitely a little bit more motivated, I think, to kind of go out there and show what he's capable of doing, since he missed that opportunity. It's obviously not over. He'll have more chances to kind of get in front of the Nebraska staff next year at camp. But he spent his time. He spent his time in the trainer's room, and I think the other thing too, though, if you go out there and look at his Twitter, and I didn't include any of his tweets, but some of his 7-on-7 stuff is really spectacular. He shows, what Penn State obviously saw in him, and that is that he's a guy that's going to run really well. He's going to jump incredibly well. He's got some great body control, can high point a football, and that's coming from on both sides of the football too. I mean, he's really a guy that shows that he's got some tremendous skills when he's out there playing 7-on-7.
How much emphasis does Nebraska's coaching staff put on the camp performance that these guys have in front of them, that they can see it with their own two eyes, versus the film that's available to everyone else?
I think the camp performances are huge to the whole evaluation process. I think that there's the eyeball test, just kind of getting them in front of them and understanding height, weight, how their body is composed, what they look like, kind of seeing them, on the roster against other players that are currently on the roster. And I think that that's a really important thing. And then obviously showing how coachable, you are. Like how quickly can a coach basically, give you feedback, have you integrate that feedback into the drills that they have ongoing. That's an important part of that whole process. So I do think that, like, camping, particularly for those guys that are just kind of, on that kind of bubble a little bit, maybe, and trying to make an impression, it's very important to go out there and have a strong camp.
Does this feel like a situation that maybe Nebraska backs off its interest unless there is a strong camp for Liebentritt, and then that's maybe one that comes back to Nebraska down the road? Do you still think there's a pretty good chance that Liebentritt can find another camp and play his way into Nebraska's primary plans?
Sure. I think you've got two different opportunities, right? You can get down there, to Scott sometime, for another kind of workout, potentially in the spring, where you get a chance to kind of see him kind of go through some activities, whether it's weightlifting or some sort of a workout, that Coach Turman is having over there. So that could be helpful. There could also be like a track practice. There could be another sport, that he's playing, that Nebraska ends up going out there too, and kind of checking things out to kind of verify some things. I think that obviously they have an understanding about how big he is, because Coach Dvorak was there at the school. I think getting a chance to talk to the players, now, as opposed to like the whole bumped into routine, and we all know that it was going further than that in the first place. I mean, now that they got an actual chance to like sit down and talk to them, and all that stuff is legal now, I think that also takes a little bit of that pressure off when it comes to getting things ready to kind of have those guys, into camp. So I think it's just another step in the whole entire process when it comes to evaluating a guy.
Fair enough. Last thing for you then, Brian. About a week ago tomorrow, it was that Nebraska secured the commitment from wide receiver Larry Miles out of the state of Florida. If you look at Nebraska's 12-member class, 10 of those players are on offense. 2 of them are on defense. As we've mentioned before on the show, you anticipate this being probably a smaller signing class for Nebraska. Yeah. With so few defensive players in that 26 class so far, only 2 of them. Is that a heavy focus for Nebraska for the rest of the class, or do you think that the defense will be fortified through the transfer portal?
I think defense is definitely going to be an emphasis. I mean, one of the only guys remaining on Nebraska's radar that maybe now all of a sudden the hopes are waning to get in the 2026 class is Calvin Thomas, the edge rusher from in South Texas. I think after that, you're looking at defensive line. I think you're still looking for a linebacker. I think you're looking for, probably like some sort of a safety cornerback, like some sort of a versatile guy in the defensive backfield. But I mean, there are just so few spots. I think the offensive side, if you go through, just like you check it off, it's like running back check, quarterback check, 4 offensive linemen, tight end, 3 wide receivers, you're done. Now you're looking at maybe like 3 guys on defense. You're looking at defensive line. You're looking at like a linebacker to go along with Jace. And you're maybe looking for a safety. And then it's possible that you still could have a need for like a long snapper. So that could be obviously a thing that kind of comes in it. So you're still playing in that like 14, 15, 16 range. That's about where we all kind of thought this class was going to get to.
There you go. For more information, you can make sure you follow Brian Munson _ on Twitter. Tunnel Talk coming Wednesday. What can people look out for on that, Brian?
Oh, 3 and Out on Wednesday.
3 and Out, sorry. Yes.
Yes. We're going to talk about, I just put down my headlines, and of course you're hitting me up. I'm going to talk about turning the page onto the 2027 guys. Who are some names that people need to start paying attention to? And I have an update coming on one of those guys, which will probably be either Thursday or even this next weekend, in Zane Rowe, who's a 2-way prospect for Nebraska, being looked at to play outside edge linebacker, maybe even defensive end combo, but then putting in some packages for him to play tight end. So big thing next week is going to be, like stuck at 12 commitments in the 2026 class, kind of what's next. And then one of the other topics is going to be, obviously, who are some names in the 2027 class to kind of underline a little bit and pay attention to going forward.
There you go. That'll be 3 and Out coming up later this week. Find it on Husker Online. Brian Munson is our guest here. Brian, as always, appreciate your time and your insights. Good, sir. Thanks.
Be good, buddy. See ya.
Brian joined us on our VIP line, brought to you by Aloe Fiber. Aloe Fiber is where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local. All right, we'll bring in the Husker Hall of Famers to wrap up hour 1 with a look at the future for Oklahoma. Joe Castiglione announces that he will be stepping down during this school year. How impactful is that decision for Oklahoma's head football coach, Brent Venables? That's how we'll wrap up hour 1 of On the Block.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Hopefully you and I agree that you should do everything you can to save your marriage. Divorce is hard, expensive, and its outcome is usually not all you hope for. However, when doing everything has failed, when divorce remains as your last option, consider Cordell & Cordell as your first choice to help you through the divorce process to a better place on the other side. We've been a partner men can count on for more than 30 years. Let us be that partner for you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln. 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with Ready Mixed Concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
Play ball! Haymarket Park is buzzing with excitement this summer. Grab your crew and get in on the fun. Be sure to catch all the daily specials and promotions this season, like Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, Souvenir Saturday, Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts all summer long. Don't miss out on the action as the Lincoln Salt Dogs take on their biggest rivals and knock the ball out of the park. Visit saltdogs.com and see this week's promotions and grab your tickets.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at copplecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
We're wrapping up hour one of On the Block. Austin, Jay, and Strick with you. Some news out of Norman, Oklahoma. Pete Thamel reporting this for ESPN. He says Oklahoma Athletic Director Joe Castiglione will retire from his full-time role during the upcoming school year, bringing an end to the longest tenured run for a current athletic director in major college sports. Upon the hiring of his successor, according to sources, Castiglione will stay on as an athletic director emeritus. He's been at OU for 28 seasons. And of course, the big question then, Jay, we'll start with you. Brent Venables, a couple of years where he went 6-7, one where he went 10-2 before an Alamo Bowl loss to get him to 10-3. What does a decision like this put in the mind of Oklahoma head football coach Brent Venables?
I think he already was kind of on the hot seat anyways, just based on what the standard, is thought to have been at Oklahoma. It hasn't been not even as smooth a transition that maybe I thought. And, losing Caleb Williams and not, missing out on a couple quarterbacks, I think the pressure's on him. I think with him staying on it as emeritus, I don't think it'll be too much of a change. But I also know that once you get a new coach, new boss, you better be winning in that first year so you can still, hold your power position.
Strick, is it the same in college and in pros that when you get a new athletic director, a new general manager, the head coach naturally feels some heat?
Yeah, because you've established there's a rapport there. There's understanding that if you don't perform, that's going to be the thing. But people, when they come in fresh and new, sometimes you want fresh squeezed orange juice and not the one that you just go grab off the shelf. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's what you want. If you're a new person, there's a form of establishment. There's a form of he's my guy, not, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think there's a level of rope that's given grace wise with always what you ever seen those movies where the guy's got the one eye thing where they're kind of looking
the
through
magnifying glass?
Yeah, they kind of like, let me see what you got going on over there. That's kind of what you feel. I think if you're, there's always that little apprehension. Same thing with a new general manager. A new general manager comes in.
And they have that too at Oklahoma too, right? They got Jim Nagy.
Yeah. But I don't know if Oklahoma's one where the head coach reports to the GM or vice versa.
Yeah, I think it's the head coach and the GM work hand in hand. Head coach gets
same level,
but the head coach is
final say.
Yeah,
51-49, 50.5, 49.5 split. Nagy's a good guy to have around for him, though.
From evaluate, yeah, but just putting on stuff, yeah. I don't know, man. It's
especially with the new changes.
You get a new AD, yeah, depending on the buyout. Him staying around, I wonder if they're going to hire from within. Oklahoma
just promote.
Oklahoma on the sneak is very cliquey, politicky. They do things a certain way down there. They really do. Go back and just look at it. They just are Oklahoma. They like, it's kind of like Texas, but they just do it their own way.
That's interesting. I didn't even look at it from that.
Is that just Oklahoma or Oklahoma State too?
Oklahoma State they wide open down there. I got
pew 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 pew.
Yeah. They got to be them and the Wild Boys over there. They got Oklahoma State got to take some chances.
Dance.
Yeah, we're just trying to get you to graduation. Yeah.
They do. Are they still got that good Boone Pickens money?
He passed away.
I think T-Boone's gone, but they still got the money.
But yeah, they still he laced them out right.
Mm-hmm.
Who's under more pressure, Mike Gundy or Brent Venables this year?
Gundy. He had to take a pay cut. Then they said it's going to the staff because you've been stealing. And he's put his house up, so he's under pressure. Venables, he went 6-7, 10-3, 6-7. He's 22-17. I think Gundy's under more pressure because he's been there. So you ever have NBA? You know this, right? Been there so long, kind of like with Doc Rivers. You've been there so long, you've been so successful. They start to really knock down your consistency. Now, my only time I remember this, and I'll be real short. One of my friends was a Tennessee alum, and they were mad at Philip Fulmer.
Yeah.
2 years after he made the SEC championship, I said, "Be careful what you wish for."
Mm-hmm.
And he called me back 2 years after when they had your boy, what's the dude that Derek Dooley?
Derek Dooley.
And Derek Dooley.
Son of Vince Dooley.
Yeah, remember when Derek Dooley threw the headphones with it still time on the clock? He's straight. He died with a timeout in his pocket, messed up at the end of the game, just threw the headset, ran across. I kept sending him the picture. I said, "That's your boy." He's like, "Yeah, I should have listened to you."
Yeah, be careful.
Derek Dooley.
Question, Austin, before we go to break. Is Nebraska having those same type of feelings? Nothing.
They do things a certain way.
For when they let Pelini go.
That didn't need to happen, but also had to happen at the same time.
No, I was going to say Frank.
Yeah,
Solich?
Frank probably
Solich.
more.
Okay. Yeah.
Frank didn't cause problems.
But that's over with now.
Yeah, I know.
But
the curse is still biting Nebraska, some would say.
Mm-hmm.
The football gods are still getting at him, Jay.
Go break, man.
Jay wants us to go to break, so I guess we'll take a break. When we get back, someone argued that Nikola Jokic is actually the best scorer in the NBA. Do we believe that? Do we agree? Do we disagree? Is it numbers? Is it aesthetic?
You better have some
We're
good
back.
numbers, Strick.
More on the block after this.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Hopefully you and I agree that you should do everything you can to save your marriage. Divorce is hard, expensive, and its outcome is usually not all you hope for. However, when doing everything has failed, when divorce remains as your last option, consider Cordell & Cordell as your first choice to help you through the divorce process to a better place on the other side. We've been a partner men can count on for more than 30 years. Let us be that partner for you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln. 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
Hey guys, you have heard about the Farrell's 10-week challenge for years on the ticket. If you still haven't joined us for this amazing challenge, what are you waiting for? You could be our next $1,000 winner like Derek, who just lost 30 pounds, 23 inches, and 8% body fat. Derek changed his life in the 10-week challenge, and so can you. Farrell's combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to get you the results you have been waiting for. Join us July 12th for the Summer 10-Week Challenge. Go to fxblincoln.com to enroll today.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Play ball!
Haymarket Park is buzzing with excitement this summer. Grab your crew and get in on the fun. Be sure to catch all the daily specials and promotions this season, like Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, Souvenir Saturday, Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts all summer long. Don't miss out on the action as the Lincoln Salt Dogs take on their biggest rivals and knock the ball out of the park. Visit saltdogs.com and see this week's promotions and grab your tickets.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome back in. Hour 2 of On the Block, brought to you by who, Jay Foreman?
The Mercado Certified Piedmontese Special Grease and Butcher Shop. You know what time it is.
Every kind of meat and every kind of cut. One on 168th and Maple.
Up there in the O.
And where else, Jay? Havelock. Where in Havelock?
Not Havelock.
Is it Havelock?
It's Havelock.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, don't be doing me like that.
Try to see if you're slipping.
I see you trying to
good.
get me.
You good?
Okay.
The second time he tried to get you straight.
84th and Havelock.
30th Yankee Hill.
85th and Andermatt.
And Old Cheney. Yeah. Right there in the hood.
That's every type of meat and every type of cut. Guy that can make every shot in the NBA, Nikola Jokic. Saw this from Nate Jones, done a lot of NBA podcasting and such. He says, a lot of folks don't like me saying Jokic is the best scorer in the NBA. In my opinion, there's no player that can hit more shots at more spots on the floor at a high percentage and efficiency than Jokic right now. He averaged 30 points, 29.6 this year, third in the NBA in scoring on only top 20 usage rate. Strick, we'll start with you. Is Nikola Jokic the best scorer in the NBA?
That's a tough one, right? I love his craftiness. And so you had see the crazy thing is, right? In like, for example, Tim Duncan's prime. Tim Duncan can give it pause. Tim Duncan can get money.
Hit a shot.
In a lot of different ways, right? He could do it crafty. He could do it with Debo style. He had jump hooks. He face you up. He can. So he was a very skilled scorer. But you wouldn't look at him from the same magnifying glass as you did from some of the other guys that were like a Tracy McGrady or
an AI.
You know, yeah, you wouldn't look at it with the same because it doesn't have flair to it. That's why he got the nickname Big Fundamentals. Doesn't nullify the fact that he can give you that work, right? That's so the question, and I think I had this conversation with some people, man. I'm like, y'all, you know, you can't really look at it all the time from aesthetics, right? To me, a great scorer is not how many times it takes you to get open or the show or the and one mixtape view on it. It's simplified. How quick can I get to where I want to get to and get money? Like, right? Like it shouldn't take you 10 dribbles to get. That's not good. That's just you playing and I'm tired of you playing. I finally bit on one after 20 different dribbles. You know what I'm saying? So that to me, it's the simplified method. He's bona fide simplified.
I like that.
You know what I mean? So now,
how much of his
I can't say that he's the best.
Okay,
like you gotta look at guys like Kevin Durant, you know, because he's an anomaly though. That's the part that makes him uniquely gifted. That's not nullifying how good he is. But you know, guys like that are don't get the credit that's due them because it doesn't look like it is good.
How much of it for Jokic too is his reputation as a passer, that we think of him for that instead of the scoring?
In my opinion, I think he just does it all. I mean, he's just dominating. And then he just be hitting some crazy looking shot. I think because he got that jumper, he got that Larry Bird type of jumper. He just got it way up high. And I think it's like Strick said, he's 285 pounds.
He looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy on the movie Ghostbusters. He looks like the
Stay Puft Marshmallow
Man. So you like, how is this guy giving me this business? And then realize he got 30, 20, and 10 on you. Sheesh. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, he's. I don't know if he's the best, but he's definitely, you know, just offhand. I think Durant, Steph. I mean, Shea can give it. I don't think he probably shoots the three at the clip he probably needs to, but
Jay,
they can get to any spot he wants.
Right.
Shea shoots 38% from three this year, 36% for his career.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
But here's the sad part. You ready? That we still talking about Kevin Durant at almost 40 Big number one.
Do you know the last time KD shot under 50% from the field in the NBA?
Like a rookie year.
I have to say after his injury.
2012 is the last season he shot under 50% from the floor.
Them old cats still giving cats work.
That's what I'm saying.
But
look at Kevin Durant doesn't do a whole bunch of play.
No.
Kevin Durant gives you a couple raise up, bog up, 1-2, 1-2 to the elbow, bog up.
Transition 3 you to death.
I mean, he catch it, square you up, bog up. You know, he don't really do a bunch.
Neither does Steph.
Steph does a little play
when he has
to.
And when
he does a little play.
Yeah, but everything he does is coming off picks, bust your head open to the white meat. That's it. Even like, LeBron, he's not probably as efficient as those guys. He ain't doing nothing special.
No.
That's what
the one that gets me is the look away.
I like that one.
into the stand.
No, that's the best one. When he gets when he looks at,
hey, you know it's coming.
And you
can't stop it.
But when you 6'8", you know what it is. You know what it is. He hit that a couple times.
Oh man,
in like training or whatever, and then he's
like,
kind of like, watch this, I'm gonna do it.
No, the one that got me, and I somebody sent it to me just recently and reminded me of it, and I posted it on my ex, was Paul basically did the same thing.
Paul Pierce
against us in the playoffs when I was going over there.
Yeah, I saw that today.
He was like, wait, first, what you didn't notice first is Paul looking at me saying, no, you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I saw that.
Me and him was cool. We was boys. So he looked at me like,
not
you.
Yeah.
We got to give you this work.
Yeah, I said, Paul Pierce was just working him down. He's like, you ready for this?
Right.
And, yeah. And then he did hit.
He did hit him with a step ball.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
LeBron must have took it from him.
He must have got it from him. But no, Paul bugging right now. I'm done. Paul bugging right now.
Yeah, he said he's the greatest scorer of all time.
Boy,
Let's talk
better
about
than
it.
Jordan.
Let's talk about it. Is Paul Pierce top 5 scorers of all time?
I say he's one of the best efficient scorers of all time.
So he's more the Jokic realm of scoring.
Yes. Yeah. Like he don't like need a lot. like you look at Paul and you think he's gonna be like Brad Miller.
Yeah. He built like Jokic, just a little bit small.
You see him, you're like, this cat can't go by me. Buy you classic. You know what I'm saying? That's how Paul's first step was actually really good. He had and it was long, and it didn't seem like it was going anywhere, but then he's a shoulder by you and he's getting to a spot. Then he doesn't see you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like when you raise with him, he don't see you. He's just getting into his stuff. I say efficient. So I'm not going to say best scorer, but I'm going to say one of the best efficient scorers that I've ever seen.
He's one of the most efficient. He was physical too.
Oh yeah, he liked that.
My dad about to throw around.
And the best part is the bigger the game. Besides when he played LeBron, the better he played. LeBron ate him up for lunch. But I just think that Paul Pierce is just one of those dudes that just never got the credit that he deserved. Like and plus he was playing on some teams that weren't very good. Like lean years of the Celtics. But he was cold blooded.
But we do have to laugh about Draymond giving Paul Pierce they don't love you like that.
Well, at that point,
that was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty funny. No disrespect to Paul, that was pretty freaking funny.
At that point, Paul and KG, they were too wild. They was wild. They was down in Brooklyn acting a fool, and they were trying to bring that Boston.
Well, wasn't that was doing these with the Clippers? Draymond told him that, wasn't it?
I just know when they went from Boston to Brooklyn, they were wide open.
Yeah. Yeah, they was different. And NY too. Oh yeah,
Paul cold-blooded though.
He is. Yeah, and doesn't pull no punches about it. He's no nonsense. That he is who he is. Is part of the reason why things happen early on in Boston. He who he is. He's gonna tell you like it T.I. is. He gonna spit at your girl, and you don't care.
He said he's the truth.
All right,
he was the truth.
Fresh from Hickman, current NBA players, if you're down 15 seconds to go, anyone in the NBA to have the ball in their hands, who are you giving it to?
You're telling right now, recent.
Current NBA players.
And you need how many points?
You're down 15 seconds left, shot clock turned up. You going Bron? Okay. Not surprising.
LeBron or Steph.
Rick, why are you acting shocked? You knew that was coming.
Cue the stats.
I will probably say Steph. And he showed it. I'm going to go Steph or Kyrie.
I would not pick Kyrie this year. He will not be doing that.
Well, not this year. But
your point is taken.
But I would say him. And then, real talk, I probably would look at Jokic or Shea right now, especially where they calling fouls.
Or not calling fouls.
Yeah, Shea.
He gonna go. He gonna get to the line or something. He getting something.
No votes for KD.
Nah.
No votes for KD.
He'd been second. Third for me. Joker.
Top
second.
5 for me. I'm over it for KD.
You're over it for KD, right?
I like guys that can get.
You're
their
over
shot.
it.
Mm-hmm.
How are you over? KD
I'm over
right
it.
53, 43, 84.
Garbage.
First career 50, 39, 88.
Falsified stats. Phoenix horrible.
Phoenix
is that
bad.
a Spanish word? That's a Strictionary. Horrible. Yeah. That's my part. And Jay Foreman, I'm standing on business.
About what?
He's done with KD.
Durant. Horrible. When it's time to get money, I don't believe
you mean
it.
under pressure?
I don't believe it.
You notice he ain't say Bron.
He did not say Bron. Stricky's on board.
Bron or Mr.
He's on
Layup?
board.
Solo Dolo.
You do the Patrick Ewing? Like my man Patrick Ewing.
Okay, let's flip this around then. Who do you want defending that player?
Patrick Beverly.
Not in the NBA. Thank you. Who are you taking to lock up your one-on-one score?
Lou Dort.
Ooh,
Caruso.
Ooh. Okay. I see where you're going. Okay.
I was going to say Lou Dort.
I'm kind of surprised you didn't go with one of the Thompsons, Stricky. They're your boys.
I ain't there yet with them, but they coming. Not yet, but they coming. But I like Lou Dort or Caruso. I'm all right with any of them.
I'm right there. You don't want your boy Dylan Brooks?
Negative, Ghost Rider. That pattern's gone full.
What about Draymond?
Nah, too late.
Ooh, I don't know if it's too late.
Nah, I'm not wrong.
What about Jaren Jackson?
I like him.
That was my second pick.
I like Jaren Jackson. I like that. That's a good call.
I'm not mad at Draymond.
No, you know what? I don't know about one-on-one, but I think in a switch, I think I like him.
I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are
you not rolling with Porzingis?
Bruh.
Bruh.
You could talk me into Dyson Daniels from the Hawks.
Really?
Great Barrier Thief. It's his nickname. Yeah, he's there.
What's the
Herb
other
Jones
young
from the
fella?
Pelicans? I'm taking Herb Jones.
No.
Fire me up. You're not taking Alvarado. Too small.
No. Dang, what's his name? Man, he will pick. Listen. I think he's with Toronto. What's his name?
Barnes?
No. When I'm telling you, he's what I love about him. I can't remember.
Emmanuel Quickly?
Yes.
Ooh, you're an IQ guy. I like this.
Yes.
Tell me more.
Yes. Look, what I watched the film on him. No, real talk.
No, Quickly's legit.
I've seen the film on
him.
He's so good at retreat with footwork with hands, and he sees kind of where balls are going. He's got great swipe. He's got good long arm reach. He doesn't bite on. I actually like him. I like Quigley. I like him. Real talk. Facts.
I see where you're going.
Okay.
Okay, one rim protector. One guy, last line of defense. You got Anthony Edwards coming down the lane, trying to yam. Who do you want?
I would say
defending the rim?
AD if he had more heart. He's that good. He could be like he shows up 2 games and then he'll disappear for 1. So
alternating days, baby.
I'm going to
your center on the all defense team was Evan Mobley, by the way, but I think we're all not quite buying that.
No, I'm not rolling. Oh, man, that's a tough one, bro.
You taking Jaron? You taking Kessler? You taking French Connection? Taking Chet? Taking Wemby?
Porzingis?
No.
Brooke Lopez?
You know what? I'm going to say Wemby.
Your second team
because I'm okay
center
with Wemby switching. I'm okay with Wemby switching, and the alien, the long arm of the law, he can get there from wherever he want to get there. I'm going to say Wemby. I like that.
No Klingon?
Nah, he ain't there. He likes the Star Trek Klingon.
Yeah, I think it'd be all right.
Who are you taking, Jay? Who's your rim protector? Last line of defense. And you already used LeBron for your score, so you can't put him there.
Oh, gosh. If you put him there now, Cap, I'm throwing my hat all the way outside.
Just the rim protector?
Rim protector.
Why not Rudy Gobert, the Frenchie connection?
I like him, but not over. Yeah, he
got
I would take. See, I wouldn't trust him on a switch.
Yeah,
that has been well documented.
I'll go Chet.
Ooh, Minnesota's finest.
Yeah, I'll go Chet.
Oxtail Sean Bradley.
No, he didn't call this man. No, you did not call this man Oxtail Sean Bradley.
Oxtail Sean Bradley?
Sean Bradley.
Wow.
He just said Sean Bradley with some soul.
Yeah, basically.
Spicy, too.
Spicy with soul.
Yeah.
Fall right off the bone.
Yep.
You're the one that chose him. You left me no choice.
Hey.
He's been down in North Minneapolis.
Chet's going to break in half.
When he did that commercial, I said, Chet got a little bit of flavor. Okay.
Oh, he got a lot of
when
flavor.
He did the commercial with
Maybe
him,
too much flavor sometimes.
He had the hat on. Yeah, he got a little bit of flavor.
So, yeah, he really think he's smooth.
Does Chet need to get out of OKC to survive? I mean, to thrive?
No, he's thriving right now. Depends on what you think his ceiling is, though. What's Chet's ceiling? Is he an all-NBA guy for you?
That's the setup, Courtney. Look at his face.
You see it?
Yeah, he said.
You see it?
Is Chet an all-NBA guy?
It's time to go to break.
No, it's not. I'm pushing the buttons today.
No, because I don't think he beats Wemby.
So in that case, if you don't think he's all-NBA, he should stay in OKC.
I think he's 13.
Jay?
I like straight 13. Second on a phenomenal year.
Phenomenal, but the phenomenal year I don't think happens with Shea
and Jalen.
And with Jalen, I don't think it does.
Yeah,
I think
second is third team at best.
I think the defense moves him to the level, and then he has.
And if there's special circumstances where he extended time as being the number 1 or 2 option, I think he's got to get.
I think he's got to get out in order to go to the
I'm
next level.
coming to the crib. Get French Connection out there, and me and Ant-Man.
Ooh, Jay Foreman. You see that? Now that was a hometown special.
Homeboy hookup.
That was the homeboy hookup call, but I like where you went with that one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Him and Ant-Man.
I actually like that. Hey, what did your boy say on Tom Hanks? He said, I like that. I like it a lot. I like that. What was that movie? I know this. I know the blockheads know.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. I like it. I like it a lot.
I like 2 of your movie references today, by the way.
What?
Without looking them up.
You did?
Ghostbusters.
No, you didn't. Well,
yeah, I said Stay
that
Puft
was
Marshmallow
easy work
before you did.
Because you and
so is Forrest Gump, but I still got it right.
You and little Herbie Husker
You're giving me
have
zero
watched Ghostbusters.
We have not.
Yes, you did.
No, we have not.
Yeah, you got a partner in crime. David from Renews hating on LeBron. You guys,
David, you know what's up.
David, I can tell you this right now.
David knows what's up.
I can tell you this right now, David, since you listen. There's not a chance. There's not a chance, and you know what? That you chumps are going out the Rumors.
That what?
After that bet. No, he knows what I'm talking about.
David from Renew. We need to meet down on 14th Street. You know the spot.
Riley W. is saying that wasn't Tom Hanks. That was Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, good call.
Did we get got?
Good call.
Riley
I
W.
like that. I like it a lot. Are you sure?
That's what Riley W. is saying.
Riley, you might be arrest Riley Washington. My guy, you might be on top of something, right? I trust you, Riley. You know, you cut my hair. He know.
Now we can go to break. We'll look this up. We'll come back with the final answer and talk some NFL running backs. GMs and execs voted on the top 10 in the league. Who's number 1, 2, 3, and on down the list. We'll go through that when we continue on the block.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs has been a trusted and reliable company in the community. Fast Mike's handles all sizes of construction projects, home renovations, or a big cleanout. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs makes cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com to book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sauterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Fuhrer's cheese spread. So he left at once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Fuhrer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
We're going to get up to 87 for a high temperature today, but we bring in a chance for some showers and thunderstorms this evening into tonight. Some of those could be strong to severe, with large hail and strong wind gusts being the main threats. We'll drop down to 67 tonight, maybe a morning shower tomorrow with a high of 86. Then we'll get up to 90 for a high on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Aaron Dowden for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry, as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at cobblecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G1877747, and G1965999.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Against Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Against Sports at 48th and Vine.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome back in on the block. We're rolling right along here on a beautiful Monday for the show. You want to get a glimpse of the sunlight from indoors. Best way to do that is through new windows from Heartland of Nebraska. Windows, they're a company based out of Powell, Nebraska. They offer a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and lifetime warranties on everything while still keeping their prices affordable. They're locally and family owned with their own team of installers. You can give Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today for more information at 402-430-3852 or by visiting them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. It got clear as mud on the text line about where the I like it a lot quote came from. It is confirmed to be found in Dumb and Dumber, delivered by Jim Carrey. There are reports that it is in Forrest Gump, and I'm not seeing it clipped in a short form version. So either everyone's right or everyone's wrong. One of the two.
That part.
We will we'll continue to do some digging into that and report back with an answer eventually. Executives, coaches, and scouts were asked by ESPN to rank the NFL's top running backs for 2025. It is no shocker who is number one. Do we care to get our guesses out there? Number one NFL running back for 2025.
On
Saquon.
what? Maiden?
Saquon. No, this is real life. This is not Madden ratings. This is actual honest to goodness football. Yes, it is Saquon Barkley at number one. He received all but one first place vote. Care to guess who got the other first place vote?
D-Hen.
Stricky?
D who?
Derrick Henry.
Who got the other number one vote from executives, coaches, and scouts?
Bijan Robinson.
It was Derrick Henry, who comes in at number
I did
two,
that just to
member
spite you.
of
I
the
wasn't going to be
Baltimore
like I'm
Ravens.
co-signing everything you say.
He said Bijan Robinson. I had to think like that.
Then it gets interesting. Where do you think Bijan Robinson fell, according to coaches, executives, and GMs? Stricky, your boy, Bijan. Where do you think they ranked him?
7.
They ranked him number 4.
Okay.
Some people had him unranked. Not a top 10 running back in the league.
McCaffrey's 3.
You say McCaffrey's 3? Jay, where do you think CMC is ranked?
He should be up there. Yeah, 3.
No. He's number 5.
Ooh.
Probably because of injuries, durability, and whatnot. Care to guess who number 3 is?
Joe Mixon.
It is not Joe Mixon. He was not as advertised for the Houston Texans last year. Did not deliver them where he was supposed to.
What's my guy? What's my guy that was with the
Cowboys?
Cowboys?
It is not a guy with the Cowboys.
Zeke.
It is not Zeke. This player's in the NFC. His highest ranking was number 2. His lowest ranking was number 9, and he was number 8
Josh
going into
Jacobs?
last season. It is not Josh Jacobs, who is ranked number 6.
Your boy from Detroit.
Which boy from Detroit?
Oh, yeah. Gibbs.
Jahmyr
Jahmyr
Gibbs.
Gibbs. Good call, Jay.
Jahmyr Gibbs at number
He's
3.
a beast, bro.
He's a nightmare coming out of the flats, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where's Kamara?
Where do you think Kamara is,
Unranked.
Stricky?
10.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Number 10.
You see what I do, Jay?
His highest ranking was number 7. His lowest ranking was unranked. He was an honorable mention last year. So right now we are just looking for y'all to get backs 7, 8, and 9. For those who are keeping score at home, number 1 is Saquon Barkley. Number 2, Derrick Henry. Number 3, Jahmyr Gibbs. Number 4, Bijan Robinson. Number 5, Christian McCaffrey. Number 6, Josh Jacobs. Number 10, Alvin Kamara. We're looking for 7, 8, and 9, fellas. Who you think?
My man, what was it? Is it James Cook from Buffalo?
James Cook is at number 8. And I will give you Joe Mixon at number 9 because you mentioned his name. So we're just looking for number 7.
He's got to be Josh Jacobs.
No, he's number 6. Players in the AFC.
Oh, it's your
With the
boy.
Bulls. I mean, not the Bulls. The Bills.
No, Jay just got the Bills.
It's
guy,
your
James
boy.
Cook.
It's his boy.
Are you sure?
It's Jonathan Taylor. Look,
It's Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor.
So you see it in his eyes.
Yeah.
I kept a poker face for about 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's his boy, Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor was ranked as high as the number 2 running back in the NFL going into this year. We like that. We love that. We love it. We
I
disagree.
don't like that at all.
Why not? Because you're scared? That's what I thought.
Because he hasn't been healthy. I mean, number 2. I mean, that's Derrick Henry and Saquon all day long. CMC when he's healthy.
1,400 yards, 11 touches last year.
Yeah, he was good. But then you got to think Gibbs had 1,400 yards. Josh Jacobs almost had 1,400 yards. Kieran Williams had 1,300.
I'm a little surprised Kyron Williams isn't there instead of Alvin Kamara.
I'm more surprised at Alvin Kamara. I mean, he must be just. I mean, he only had 950 yards.
There's some really interesting honorable mentions. So there's a difference here between honorable mention and also receiving votes. Honorable mention was enough to write home about. These are 5 names that you know, but you don't really know. So 11 through 15. We have not named a single one of these players yet. Kyron Williams is not in the honorable mentions.
I bet you your boy from New England, Stevenson's on there.
He is not an honorable mention. No. You have 3 NFC and 2 AFC players, running backs, in this list. Gino brings up one of them on the text line. If you have the text line pulled up.
Oh, man. It's the dude from the Dolphins?
Devon Achane.
Oh, wow.
One of your honorable mentions.
He a full-time starter.
Oh, wow.
What about your boy from Pittsburgh, Warren?
Husker also brings him up. No, he is not an honorable mention. I was a little surprised after last year J.K. Dobbins didn't get more love for what he did with the Chargers. But they seem to think Najee Harris could replace him, who is also not in this list.
What about James Conner?
James Conner is there.
I can see that because remember the year before he had like 18 touchdowns, all from a 1 yard out.
Like within the 5. Yeah. Short field merchant. Okay, so we need 2 NFC players, 1 AFC player. One of them is a big name.
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. Now you need probably the 2 least known players on this list.
Who's at Green Bay?
NFC South and
Josh
AFC
Jacobs.
East.
Josh is up in Green Bay now?
Mm-hmm. Last year.
Was it Bucky Irving?
Bucky Irving is the NFC South. And your AFC East running back.
AFC what?
East. You got Cook, you got Achane, and it is not Stevenson.
You got Cook, you got Stevenson,
who's not on the list, and Devon Achane is the honorable mention. It is not Kenneth Walker, Riley W.
Bryce Hall.
Breece Hall.
Yeah.
Breece Hall.
Is he from Omaha? What's the connection with Nebraska? Or is he related to like a former player? Or did he Nebraska? I know Nebraska dropped the ball on him.
Yes, Nebraska did drop the ball on him. Let me see if I can pull this up here really quickly.
Where'd he go? He went to Iowa State, right?
He did.
But there's a deep-rooted Nebraska connection, and it always came up after his rookie
His
year.
stepfather, Jeff Smith, played for Nebraska.
Hey, text line, is Jeff Smith, was he number 28?
He was. There's the connection.
That's his stepdad?
Stepdad.
Okay. Is Jeff Smith from Iowa? Where's Bryce Hall from? Breece Hall.
Breece Hall is born in Omaha.
Wow.
Born in Omaha.
That's it.
But grew up in Wichita. Went to Northwest.
I don't care. Way to drop the ball on that one.
That's the connection.
So, okay, here's the question. Nebraska was in on both Breece Hall and Kyron Williams. Which one do you think would have been better at Nebraska?
Kyron Williams. That was during Scott Frost because he's from St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kyron Williams. Interesting.
But
story,
Breece Hall
man.
was also during Scott Frost.
Kyron Williams fits that kind of water bug type of deal. He's like your boy Washington with some more
muscle. Or bulk. Would either of them have been better than Jamal Lewis at Nebraska?
You mean the running back for Tennessee?
Yeah.
No. And that's a big dude, man.
That's a big horse. He's like a version of Christian Okoye.
But with like
back in the
4.3
day, right, with some speed, right. That part.
Yeah, that'd have been tough.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the rest of the also receiving. Oh, here we go. Kyron Williams, David Montgomery.
I like that.
Brian Robinson from the Commanders.
No, the one that should have been here was Megatron.
Calvin Johnson.
We should have got him.
I'm not so sure about that one.
With the option off it. How come you don't go get Megatron when you're running the offense?
Well, because Nebraska got away from that when it was.
No, I don't care.
Time.
They should have went right back to it and brought Megatron in here.
We almost had Lamar Jackson. We had
the real Lamar Jackson.
We had signed a commit from him.
Mm-hmm.
And they fumbled Ruski. Fumbled Laya.
Because they wanted him at DB, right?
Yeah, probably. See, if you would have let Jay go in there, sit down, have a conversation, we have a whole different story right now. See?
Not to the same magnitude, but Nebraska had Riley Leonard on campus. And then he flew out. Heinrich Harburg signed right after that. And Riley Leonard was really considering Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember back in the day, I think Nebraska tried to get Marshall Faulk to play DB.
Dang.
How did that work out for you?
I think, but everybody else did too.
Uh-huh.
Only one school got it right, and that's really all it takes sometimes.
Yeah.
Major what ifs. Remember, Nebraska had Carl Crawford at one point to play quarterback, but he went the baseball route.
Terrence Crawford? Yeah, he was out there.
Hey,
what position would Terrence Crawford play for Nebraska?
DB
football?
for sure.
Oh, he definitely a corner.
DB.
How tall is he?
5'2". No, I'm just playing. He about 5'8".
Oh, that's the only position he can't play is DB corner.
He 5'8".
Not even slot receiver?
Nah.
Hand fighting, win off the line?
Nah. But hand fighting, keep you on the line.
Yeah, he gonna be. I can see him just man up, mano all game long.
Yeah.
You don't even have to worry about looking in the huddle. You know he playing man or zone. He locking you up.
Right. Darrell Revis style.
Revis Island, got Crawford Cabana?
Yeah, that part.
Something like that?
Mm-hmm.
What about your boy text line? Whatever happened to Bubba Starling?
Oh, I can tell you what happened to Bubba Starling. Bubba Starling got drafted by the Royals in the top 10 and proceeded to be only the third biggest Royals top 10 bust in the last 20 years. It was bad. They called him up to the majors for 2 weeks worth of games, maybe 3. He was not up there for a while. But baseball was probably his third best sport. Is the quickest money. Bubba could hoop. He was a point guard down there in Kansas City. Football was probably his best sport. Probably. Baseball was not it for him.
He went the route that Streaky didn't go.
He did. Streaky made the right choice. Bubba Starling did not.
That's right, Jay.
He was cold.
Jay, I think he would have smashed on you, Jay. I think he would have went down the paint and bang, bang.
Bubba Starling got 245 at bats in the majors.
Witherspoon.
50
Bang,
hits,
bang,
5
bang.
homers. 544 OPS.
That's just disrespectful.
Bubba Starling was drafted in 2012. He did not make it to the Royals until 2019.
Dang.
Well, stick to it though.
You stayed in there.
Kind of a problem. So I guess he actually played in 91 games in the big leagues.
And hit 117.
He hit 204.
Yeah, I was close.
It was brutal. It was atrocious. I will never forgive Bubba Starling for failing two of my favorite franchises like that. So
I at least hit 267.
Not a boy.
You got to the majors? AAA? AA?
I left. I never got to experience, and that's the decision I had to make. I never got to experience a full spring training. I wish I did. I wish, there's some things that you wish.
If you would have walked out on that NIT championship team, would you have had a full spring training?
Yeah. If I would have left when I was
But he wanted to?
I would have had a full spring training. Jay?
We
would have been in Florida too. Yes, sir.
Did Danny let you go do your baseball thing after the season?
Yeah, I always would. Boop. Soon as school was over, boop, I'd out. As soon as I finished whatever my last classes were, I was gone. And I was trying to get going quick too. I was trying to get them to give me early tests so I could get going.
Tricky,
but I struggled when I got back. I struggled because as soon as I got back,
probably dog tired from sitting in the heat like that.
It was right before fall semester. I didn't go to class. That sun was out. It was good weather.
Yeah.
I was I'm gonna sit over. I was on probation. I had to tune up, Jay.
That's all it takes is one time.
One time going on probation, I was like, oh, hell no. To the no. I was like, I can't miss the season or half the season by being on probation. I couldn't do it, Jay.
Can't take summer classes when you're playing ball either.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Husker Stu will wrap us up on our text line brought to you by Starter Heyman Jewelers. Don't forget that Bubba Starling came to Fan Day like he was going to come to Nebraska. Anyway, what a loser. Not like people are still salty about that one.
Pump fake.
Yeah, he hit him with the LeBron look off.
See,
I gave you credit.
The Mr. Freeze pass. The Iceman from, was it Marvel?
Yeah.
Or Mr. Freeze from The Incredibles.
Yeah, whatever.
Where is my super suit?
Well, he was riding on all the ice, right? That's him, right?
Yeah. Frozone.
Yeah, Frozone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked him.
Big Frozone guy.
You didn't even watch it. So.
I watched The Incredibles.
Cap.
We're dead. We're dead. We're alive, but we're dead. Incredibles is great. What's also great, On the Block, final break of the show. Back after this.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
We're going to get up to 87 for a high temperature today, but we bring in a chance for some showers and thunderstorms this evening into tonight. Some of those could be strong to severe, with large hail and strong wind gusts being the main threats. We'll drop down to 67 tonight, maybe a morning shower tomorrow with a high of 86. Then we'll get up to 90 for a high on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Aaron Dowda for 93.7 The Ticket and TicketFM.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Batter up! Join us this summer at Haymarket Park for 50 action-packed Salt Dogs games running now through August. Visit saltdogs.com for updates on everything you need to know about weekly promotions, giveaways, and special events. That's where you'll find the latest updates to make sure you catch all the excitement and never miss a homestand you want to attend. Haymarket Park is your ticket to fun all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
We're wrapping up On the Block. Austin, Jay, and Strick with you here. Old School comes your way here in just about 10, 12 minutes or so. What are you patting your head for, Stricky? What was that about? You dunking on someone again? Ray Allen show
head
up?
tap. Like Jay would have got done with not me, because
like
I
Kevin
would
Lynch,
have
right?
I would have hit Jay with the ooh. What is the ooh? That's that up and under.
Because Stricky ain't jumping off 1 foot to dunk it when the layups are 2 points.
That part. Jay would have thought I was going for the attack. I was showed it to him, let him go try to get it. Ooh. Yeah, Jay.
No response from the Peanut Gallery in Jay Foreman.
About the backboard. I'll tell you right now, boy, I have easily 2 statues down here if I went to high school down here.
Easily 2 statues?
Easily, without a doubt. It'd been Phi Slammer Jammer, Yo Mama, Baseline Thunder, Chocolate Thunder, whatever you want to call it. The Caramel King. I'm putting stuff off. I'm just coming down just.
Are we spelling caramel with a C or with a K?
With a C, and then the King is with a K.
How many G's?
2.
2 G's?
I got the double dose of this game.
There you have it. NBA trade, not quite the 17 blockbuster that sent Kevin Durant to Houston and other players 6 different directions. 3-team trade between the Jazz, the Clippers, and the Heat. It'll be Norm Powell going to Miami in the final year of his deal. John Collins going to the Los Angeles Clippers. And both power forwards, Kyle Anderson and Kevin Love, are going to Utah. Stricky, what do you make about a deal like this?
I had a quick text. Run the names to me again.
John Collins to the Clippers.
Yeah.
Kyle Anderson and Kevin Love to Utah, and Norm Powell to Miami.
I mean, look, again, to me, that move is really just trying to put Utah in a position to they saw the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
It's just trying to put them in a position to try to build their base, ultimately in preparation for somebody that's already in Utah.
Kyle Filipowski.
You know what I'm talking about. He'll
Ace
be
Bailey.
He'll be here for an exhibition game in October.
Rob Wright III?
Yeah, him. Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm about it.
Yeah.
Since he went the Utah route, the Ringer's write-up says this is good business for pretty much everyone else. Utah creates a gigantic trade exception, saves money, and frees up more offensive touches for Ace Bailey. Clippers get something useful for a player who had 1 foot out the door since Bogdan Bogdanovic was retired, and the Heat got a major talent upgrade in an area where they had to get better if they wanted to do anything noteworthy this season. I think it makes sense. The Clippers weren't going to re-sign Norm Powell at his age, but I think he makes a lot of sense for Miami with Duncan Robinson out the door to Detroit. But I think first and foremost, the big winner for me in this trade, Jay, is the Clippers. John Collins, I think, is still really useful. Can play the 4, maybe a small ball 5. He can play with both Zubac and Brook Lopez. But I think, too, if Bradley Beal is still alive, this opens up an avenue for the Clippers to go get him as the Norm Powell replacement.
Yeah, as much as the Houston Rockets, if the Clippers are able to get Bradley Beal, it almost, I wouldn't say nullifies what the Houston Rockets did, but they're essentially move for move. Mm-hmm. I like that if they're able to get Bradley Beal and Collins up there with the Clippers.
They need to do something.
That would almost force the Lakers to trade LeBron to Golden State.
They would have to do something.
Because the Lakers are would have to immediately go into the excuse of we're in rebuild mode around Luka.
Yeah.
You'd have to.
Yeah.
Just to save face.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy how one trade can force another team to do something.
Yeah, there's a difference between forcing you to do something because you're trying to navigate the swings of the trades, but then there's a difference between that and just doing something to do something.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I can't stand.
Yeah,
They're doing something just to do something.
Movement for progress.
That's Halloween.
Yeah,
we're dressing up as a
yeah.
We just go to just play it like it's build the game sim. Simulation.
Yeah, you look like you in a Teletubby outfit.
6785 is coming at you, Jay, for how you pronounce caramel.
Caramel.
Is it caramel?
No, it's not. It's caramel. You say caramel.
That's
Correct.
what I said, right?
I think it's caramel.
No, you don't. You're just stirring the pot over there again. Get your head screwed on straight, my guy. Come on.
At the end of the day.
Huh. Tell him, Jay. Get him.
I'm just saying. I mean, I know. I mean, when Amon Green did his thing, he was faster than me. But besides that, I was been doing work. It's just house and cats.
How do you pronounce the word that you spell Pecan?
Pecan.
Pecan.
Route.
Route. It's route.
This is great.
Root is ROUT. Right? Oh, root is double O. My bad.
Well,
no, you can say root.
Yeah, multiple spellings for the same pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
How do you pronounce ROUF? How do you pronounce ROUF?
Ralph.
Roof. That's not my grandma. That's not my grandma.
How you spell TALKIN?
How do you spell?
Or how do you pronounce?
Talking.
Talking. That's the Alabama stuff, baby. It comes back.
Alaka-pinka.
But there you talking.
Alaka-pinka.
Appalachians. There he is.
The backwoods.
Hey, T. Farley, you know you from Phoenix, Alabama, man. Yeah, I know you listening.
Yeah, he on the mic. He know. Talking. That's what we doing. We talking.
How do you pronounce the word AUNT?
Ain't.
AUNT.
Out.
That's aunt.
It's ant.
Out.
Oh, ant. Yeah.
Ant.
Out. Cap.
Get out of here, Stevie. I'm kidding. We're kicking Strick out. It's old school with Foreman and Norman. Thanks for tuning in to On the Block. Both shows brought to you, of course, by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. 2 hours of On the Block tomorrow. Hour of old school coming up next.